Good evening, traveler. It is I, the Midnight Owl. Tonight, I have a tale from a place you may know well, Stardew Valley. A quiet valley of farms and rivers, of friendly villagers and peaceful days. But even the calmest places can face darkness. This is the story of a shadow that once threatened the valley, and of the farmer who rose to protect it. If you enjoy these stories, remember, you are always welcome by this fire. Now, let us begin. Stardew Valley was a place of gentle rhythms. At dawn, roosters crowed, and the first shafts of light painted the rolling hills gold. Farmers rose to tend their fields. Fishermen cast lines into the river, and children ran down to the square to chase one another as the day began. Pelican Town was the heart of it all, small, quiet, but alive with warmth. Pierre opened his shop with a smile. Gus polished the mugs at the Star Drop Saloon. And Mayor Lewis made his rounds, tipping his hat to every villager. It was here that a newcomer had arrived not long ago, a farmer, fresh from the noise of the city. At first, awkward with the soil, they had quickly learned to plant, water, and harvest, their fields greening with life. The valley embraced them. Maru shared her inventions. Abigail challenged them to games. Sebastian nodded from the shadows. And even the wizard, distant though he was, offered cryptic words of encouragement. Life was simple, and for a while, it was good. But peace is fragile. The first omen came with the harvest. One morning, the farmer awoke to find a patch of crops withered. Not from neglect, but as though drained of life. The soil was dry, brittle, touched by something unseen. That same day, Marnie's cows grew restless, lowing at shadows no one else could see. Children whispered of shapes moving at the forest's edge. And in the depths of the mines, the adventurers spoke of creatures darker than stone, with eyes like embers. At the saloon, hushed voices spoke of old tales. Long ago, said Willie, his voice low, the valley was nearly lost. Something rose from beneath the earth, a spirit of shadow, hungry for life. It was sealed away, or so they say. The farmer listened, unease heavy in their chest. They had come here seeking peace, yet now the valley itself seemed to tremble with dread. That night, as they lay in bed, they dreamed. a vision of the valley swallowed by black mist, its people silent, its fields barren, and at the heart of it, a shadow with no face, whispering their name. The next day, the farmer went to the wizard's tower. The old man stood waiting, as if he already knew. His robe shimmered with faint runes, his eyes tired but sharp. "The seal is weakening," he said before the farmer could speak. "The shadow you sense is real. Long ago it was bound beneath the mines by magic older than this valley. But time erodes all things, stone, memory, even wards." The farmer asked what could be done. "You cannot face it alone," the wizard said. "Gather those you trust. Each soul in this valley holds a piece of its strength. Together, you may resist what is coming." And so the farmer set out. They spoke with Abigail, who grinned fiercely and promised her sword. They sought Maru, who offered tools of light she had been crafting. They found Sebastian, who, though reluctant, agreed to scout the paths none dared tread. Even Gus offered help, preparing provisions, while Willie pressed into their hands a talisman from the sea. "For luck," he said. Slowly the valley rallied, not with armies or spells, but with the quiet determination of those who refused to see their home fall. The deeper they went, the darker the world became. The mines had always been strange, filled with slimes and bats, with whispers in the stone. But now the walls seemed to breathe. Shadows curled across the floor like smoke. Crystals glowed faintly, pulsing like hearts. And in the silence, a low hum echoed, as if the very earth was singing in dread. The farmer led, lantern in hand. Abigail walked at their side, sword gleaming. Behind them came Maru with her devices, and Sebastian, silent as the shadows. Deeper they went, past the places miners once dug, past the caverns where strange insects swarmed, into halls no map had ever shown. And there, in the blackness, they saw it. A figure not of flesh, but of shadow, vast and shifting. Its eyes, if eyes they were, glowed red like dying coals. And when it spoke, it was not with a voice, but with 1,000 whispers. "You should not have come," it hissed. The air grew cold, the lantern dimmed. The Calamity had awakened. The shadow rose, filling the cavern. Its tendrils lashed like smoke made solid, striking at the walls, the floor, the farmers' hearts. Abigail swung her sword, light flashing. Maru's devices sparked, casting beams that cut through the dark. Sebastian loosed arrows into the mist, but still it pressed closer. Still it whispered, offering promises. Leave the valley, flee, and I will spare you. The farmer stood firm. They had not come to flee. They thrust the talisman Willie had given into the air. Its glow spread, silver and blue, pushing the darkness back. For a moment, the whispers faltered. Then the shadow roared. The cavern shook, stones falling like thunder. The farmer's lantern shattered, plunging them into near black. But within that darkness, they heard voices. The villagers above, their laughter, their trust. And they remembered why they fought. The farmer raised their hoe, simple, worn, but theirs. With a cry, they charged. Abigail at their side, Maru's light flashing, Sebastian's arrows streaking. The Calamity lashed out, a storm of shadows. Pain seared, fear clawed, but they pressed on, step by step, until they reached the heart of it, a core of pulsing black, bound by faint, ancient runes. The wizard's words echoed, "The seal is weakening." With trembling hands, the farmer pressed the talisman to the core. It burned with light, searing, blinding. The shadow shrieked, its form unraveling. For a moment, the cavern was filled with fire and fury. And then, silence. The shadow was gone. When the farmer awoke, they lay in their bed, the morning sun spilling across the floor. Outside, the valley breathed easy once more. Crops swayed gently in the breeze. Animals grazed in peace, and the villagers smiled with relief. Life returned to Pelican Town. The mines grew quiet again, their whispers fading into stone. And though the Calamity's memory lingered, it was only that, a memory. The farmer went back to their fields, planting, watering, harvesting. Simple things, but precious. And when they looked across the valley, they knew peace had returned. Not forever, perhaps, for shadows never die entirely. But for now, the valley was safe. And so ends tonight's tale, traveler. The story of the calamity that once rose in Stardew Valley, and of the farmer who stood against it. Even in the gentlest of places, shadows may stir, but with courage and with the help of friends, even the darkest night may pass. Now rest. The fields are green, the stars are bright, and no shadow stirs tonight. Sleep well.